Hello everyone, I'm your host Ahmed. So today we are going to be set up our environment for the Flask on the Windows machine. For that I have created a folder on my drive E with the name of Python, and within that folder I'm gonna create a new folder and name it as a Flask application, or let's say Flask project. Okay, so let's say Flask project. I'm suppose for this video you have already installed the Visual Studio Code and the Python 3. I'm not explaining how to install those applications in this video. If you want me to create another video to how to install Python 3 and Visual Studio Code on your Windows machine, comment below. Now, as I have already installed the prerequisites, the Python 3 and the Visual Studio Code, to open this folder in the Visual Studio Code there are different ways. One of the shortcut way is you go to the folder properties and open with the code, which is obviously your Visual Studio Code. Now I will tell you another shortcut. In most machines there is no option to open a folder with Visual Studio Code, so you have to type on this search address bar, or you can say navigation bar, and just write cmd and press enter. And when the command prompt pop up, write cod and dot and then enter. The Visual Studio Code will automatically open and your folder will be supported. As you can see, the Flask project, and it is an empty folder. Now the first thing we are going to do is to open a new terminal. Now the terminal in the Visual Studio Code is basically work as like a CMD of the machine, but this one is integrated by the Visual Studio Code, so we don't need to use our Windows command prompt. And as it's an empty folder, so the first thing I'm going to do is to install a virtual environment. The virtual environment will be used to run our Flask project. Apart from that, our machine environment. And to install the virtual environment for this project, I will write pip install, and pip is the property of the Python 3. So you have to install Python 3 on your machine to get or use this pip property. So pip install the virtual pip install, I say virtual, and for the environment env, and then press enter. Okay, I guess it is the spelling mistakes. Okay, let me install it. So virtual environment. As you can see, I have already installed the virtual environment, so it says requirements already satisfied. In your case, if it's not installed, it will take a few moments. It will take its time to install, and once it installs, you will be allowed to input another terminal command. And as our virtual environment is installed on our system, now I have to write the Py3, which stands for the Python version 3, and then -m, which is the module to run, and then the virtual environment shortcut VNV, and then I'm gonna choose the project or the virtual environment project name. You can choose any name. For my project, I'm gonna give it a name as a virtual environment like VEN, and then press enter. And as you can see in the explorer of the navigation bar of the project of the VS Code, there is a new folder created with the name VEN. If you open that VEN folder, which is obviously the virtual environment folder, you will find different directories which include library, scripts, and a default file. Now the next step will be to activate this virtual environment for our Flask project. And for that, I have to write the name of the virtual environment, which I will just given for my virtual environment Flask project, and then / and then as you can see the folder scripts, so I will name it as scripts, and then / and then activate and press enter. You will see that the virtual environment is now activated, and now I am ready to install my Flask on the environment or in the project directory. So for that I will write pip install and Flask, and I have already installed the Flask for my previous projects, so it says the requirements are already satisfied. And for your case, it will take a moment to install the Flask, and once it's installed, you will be prompted to enter another command. Now our project is ready. Our prerequisite libraries are installed. Now click on the main directories of this project, which is obviously Flask project. And just remember, we will not be working on the VEN, which is the virtual environment directory. We will not be working on that directory. We will be working on the main directory. And on the main directory, I'm going to create a file named as app.py. Here it's optional, you can give it your name to any name to this file. Basically app.py application is the main file of the Flask project. Here we will set up our Flask application and its configuration. The first thing I'm going to write is to import Flask, and for that I will write from Flask import Flask, and just remember that F is the capital one. Now I'm gonna initialize our application, and which is app equals to, so Flask again, and then underscore name underscore. Till this point our application is ready. Now I have to tell my application when it boosts or starts, what should it do? So for that I will use a Python decorators to tell my application when it starts, to basically route it to the home page, to the home URL. And for that I will create a function with the name home, and then I will return it a string. And let's say I want to say the first thing a programmer learned is hello world on the home page, and now I will save it. And the next thing I'm going to do is to create another file run. And remember, to this file I'm not giving any extension, so it is a run. So basically this is a Flask script, but it is not yet script, so I have to make it a script, and for that I will write Flask underscore app equals to. So this file I'm going to assign this to the Flask app to tell the Flask that this is my initiative file to start my application from. So app.py. And then I'm gonna tell the Flask app, Flask environment, that the environment I'm working is basically development. and then the Flask should run, and I'm gonna save it. And to run this, I can simply write Flask run, and this should run, and you will find that this application is now live, and it is live on this port, on this URL. And if you press the Control and click, you will be thrown to a home page with the result you return as a hello world. And on this home URL, we have just returned a string. If you can see, it says hello world. So basically, we can return here an HTML page on the instead of this hello world. We can return anything that we want to display on our home page. So this is how we set up our Flask project, our Flask environment on the Windows machine. If you're getting any kind of error on your Windows machine, comment down below. I will reply to each one of you. So basically, this is my first video on the YouTube, and I'm gonna create more awesome videos and content here. If you find this video informative, please like and subscribe my channel. Until then, have a good time.